Operation Oktoberfest, America, turn 4. So on turn 4, we're at war with the Axis, and we have our full production. All our minor factories in US go to major, and we get a bonus of 30. So with that, we have 109 IPCs, and with that, we're going to buy 2 submarines, 1 fighter, 1 carrier, 10 infantry, 5 for tech, so we have our tech roll, 4 transports, and 1 destroyer. And I have an asterisk there. These may go in the Pacific depending on how this turn goes. So what we're going to do is we have a fleet here just off Gibraltar. So we're going to sail past Gibraltar, and we're going to come over here on Vichy. We're going to pay a little visit to the people in Vichy. So all these units are going to come in here. The battleship's going to bombard. We're amphibious assaulting with everything we have. So we've got 3 transports with all these ground units coming in. So I'll set that up on the board in a minute. Actually, that's the only combat move we have, so I'm going to set up that on the board right now. Just move that battle board up so we can get the battle board on. So I've got 3 Germans, tank and 2 infantry. Three Italian, 2 infantry, and an artillery. Plus we've got an AA gun as well. So I'm actually not going to put my carriers off Vichy. I'm going to leave them off Gibraltar, but my intent is to catch those planes. So I have 3 planes coming in. A battleship to bombard, a cruiser to bombard. And then I've got a tank, and oops, I just dropped my mechanized. And I've got artillery, infantry paired, and then I got a mechanized and 2 infantry, which are on their own. I've also got a destroyer, but of course that's not going to be in the battle. So first we're going to do the AA. So the Italian AA gets a chance to shoot. And the Italian AA scores a hit. So that's 1 less fighter. So now we're going to do the combat. So we have 2 fighters and a tank. We have an infantry and artillery paired. And I've put these in the right spot. I've got a cruiser, bombard, battleship, bombard, and I've got 3 regular infantry. So let's just make sure I got all that sorted out. Battleship and cruiser, bombard, a tank, and 2 fighters, 3 artillery, and 3. So that should be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 6, 8, 10. So that's 10 coming. that's a total of 4 hits. So that's 4 hits on the Axis forces. Not that great actually, but that's the way it goes. So then they get to fire back. They have 1 tank. They have 5 infantry and 1 bomber. 2, 4, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. There we go. And they score 1 hit, so that was fortunate for the Allies. Okay, so the 4 hits for the Axis, it'll be an AA, I'm assuming the bomber, and then 2 infantry, and then the Allies will lose 1 infantry, and then we'll keep fighting. So our battleship and our cruiser go away, but we still fight with the other pieces. So we have 2 fighters, 1 tank, artillery infantry paired, and 2 infantry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. And we score 2 hits. And coming back at me is a tank and 3 German Italian. Oops. And they score 2. So 2, 2. So I'll be taking off my 2 infantry, and they'll be taking off 2 units as well. And we'll keep fighting. So this time I have 2 fighters and a tank and an artillery infantry paired, and I need to get 2 hits. And I get the 2 hits. They fire back. They have a tank and an infantry, and they miss. So the Germans are gone, and we capture Vichy. Okay, so the carriers are going to move to, of course, to capture the planes. So the carriers are here. So we're going to put 1 plane on each carrier. And now we'll do our non-combat move. So over here, we have a submarine and a destroyer. We're going to move it to 91, sorry. Also, we're going to take this bomber with his infantry, and we're going to fly to Casablanca. And we have another bomber and infantry off the east coast. We're going to fly that one to Casablanca as well. All our troops down there in Casablanca having a good time. Okay, now we're going to do the Pacific side. So what we're going to do here is we're going to rail these 2 mech. 1, 2, 3. Now that we're all friends with Canada, 1, 2, 3, we're going to send the 2 mech and AA to join these fighters here. And we're just going to make sure that these transports are loaded off Hawaii. So those transports are loaded. And that's it. So now we put on our forces. So on the west coast, we're going to put a carrier and a destroyer. We're actually going to move one destroyer up to join the fleet in Hawaii. I'm actually going to move, what have you got there? No, I think we're okay. I'm going to leave everything in Hawaii. The rest of my forces on the east coast is 2 submarines. Oh, this plane here, fighter in eastern U.S., is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to land in Gibraltar and give a little bit of air cover to that port. We're hoping that the British are going to put that fire out so we can get our port back, and we're going to have some friendly aircraft there to give it a bit more protection. So we've got 2 submarines. We've got 4 transports. We've got 1 fighter. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so they would be built in central U.S., so they can be in this port here. And then I can put in 10 infantry. I'll put in 9 infantry. I'm going to move this mech to the eastern. So 9 infantry plus the fighter, and then the other naval units will be built in the central. And then on the west coast, I'm going to put that 1 infantry here on the west coast. So now I'm going to do disposition of forces. So in the eastern United States, I've got 2 AA, 1 mech, 9 infantry, 1 fighter, 4 transports, and 2 submarines off the coast. In Sea Zone 91, I've got a submarine and a destroyer. In Casablanca, I've got 2 bombers, 2 transports, and 4 infantry. In Gibraltar, I've got 1 fighter. In Vichy, I've got a tank, an infantry, and artillery. In off the coast, I've got 2 aircraft carriers, 2 fighters, 3 transports, 1 destroyer, 1 battleship, and 1 cruiser. Off Australia, I've got a destroyer and a submarine. In Hawaii, I've got a battleship, 2 cruisers, 3 destroyers, 2 transports. On the transports, I've got 3 infantry, 1 artillery. I've got 1 carrier with 2 planes, 1 tactical, 1 fighter. On Hawaii, I've got a fighter, an infantry, and an anti-aircraft. On the west coast, I've got a carrier, a destroyer, and a submarine. In San Francisco, I've got 1 infantry. And in the Aleutians, I've got 2 mechs, an AA, and 2 fighters. So for my production next turn, I have a base of 52. I have Casablanca, which is 3. I'm not neutral anymore. We got rid of all the peaceniks, so we get a 10 bonus for that. And we have all our U.S. territories, so that's 17. So that's a total of 82, plus we have Vichy. So for next turn, we get 85. Thank you very much.